So for many of us, we wish to learn to grow our own food to become more sustainable, more healthy, more in control, more empowered. But many of us live very busy, often hectic lives, 9 to 5, family life, work life. So how do we juggle all of that? Because, most of us, we have a lot going on, but we want better things. We want access to real food. We want to be in more control of our own food, our health. So in this video, I would like to share with you some of the tips and the ups and the downs that Nick and I have experienced over the last 5 summers of learning to grow our own food while living incredibly busy lifestyles. So with that being said, let's get into the first one. And basically, if you're just new to growing now, or you're planning on it this year, next year, why don't you, if you can, start small, get comfortable and confident with running that one bed, and then just build out from there. You don't have to do what Nick and I did, and we just went crazy, and we grew about 30 plants in our first summer, and it was amazing. We had lots of time on our hands back in 2020. It was an amazing summer here in the UK. However, very steep learning curves, tons of overwhelm, lots of headaches, and it was still fun, but it was like, wow, this is pretty intense. But we knew deep down why we needed to grow food, so it was a very big driving factor that kept us going. But if you have the option, start small, have fun, get comfortable and confident, and then just build from there. Also, learning how, or the times when you can sow, grow and harvest different plants throughout your growing season. So understanding how long your growing season is, and then knowing, okay, well actually I don't have to grow everything in one go and then have to deal with all of that. I could actually break that down into like 3, 4, 5 or whatever sowing times throughout that period. So that's called like succession growing, and that has been game changing for Nick and I, because instead of just dealing with massive gluts like we used to, we now take the maximum amount we can grow, and then we break it down into sections, and we sow at different times, and it is so much more easy to manage, and you get better quality, and you have a staggered harvest throughout your growing season. So learning how to succession grow, I think, is a fantastic way to basically grow while living busy lifestyles. Another thing is also, when you get up in the morning, establishing a bit of a quick morning routine, or if you don't have access to your garden, maybe it's like at an allotment and you just can't get there in the morning. What about in the evening? So allocating half an hour, to go to the garden. So what I do is early morning, I'm an early morning riser. I will do a walk through the garden and just do a recce and get my head around where we're at, what are the priorities, so that I know that when I turn up in the garden, instead of being overwhelmed with so much to do, I just know that, okay, this is priority 1, 2 and 3, and I'm only going to focus on priority 1 and then 2 and then 3. I'm not going to just get completely distracted, because that can happen, and that has happened a lot. And you end up doing 5% of 20 things, as opposed to like 100% of one thing, then 100% of another thing, and that is so much more beneficial. It minimizes the overwhelm. You do a really good job of one thing at a time, instead of just a very mediocre job of many things, and you're just left going like, what just happened? So being strict with your times, being strict with your morning times or your evening times, and going to the garden, knowing exactly what you want to do, have a plan, is such a great way, because then that during your whole day you can be a mom, a dad, a husband, a wife, whatever. You can be at work, during your 9 to 5 or whatever, your 8 till 6, you are focused on your day. But that early morning slot, or that maybe lunchtime slot, or that evening slot, it's garden time. You can focus, you can make a plan for the next day, the next week. And for me, that has allowed me to basically manage, juggle running a market garden as well as, you know, seeing family, friends, relationships, and then also having a job. Another big thing that we have really leaned into more this year is that because we actually run a community garden, we are taking on connecting with more people who wish to come and learn and grow with us and become volunteers, which is amazing. And we've made some really great friendships now. So once a week, maybe twice a week sometimes, depending on how busy we are, we have some people come to the garden and give us a hand. And that has been amazing, not only for helping in the garden, but also people, we learn and grow together as a community, but also friendships, relationships are being formed, which in this day and age, I think community has to be a really big thing. Now, you might not be running a community garden, you might just have your back garden. So in your situation, do you have friends, family, loved ones that, you know, you could connect with and share responsibilities? Because I have found that it's little and often is so much more achievable than turning up and just doing like 4 hours in the garden, because most of us are busy. So how can you break down that 1 week of jobs in the garden down to, you know, half an hour a day between you and maybe someone else? You know, it is very achievable. If we can do it, I believe you can do it. And there are tons of people around the world learning to grow as I speak. But what I would like to say is, you know, reach out to us. We also have our grow guides, which you can read about in the description. And down there we have our sow, grow and harvest schedules. So you can literally see exactly when to sow seeds, when to, you know, the growing period, when to harvest, how many times that period you can grow them. And then also, you know, the growing conditions. So everyone around the world has different growing weather zones. So if you understand what zone you're in, then you can literally grow to your climate. And that has been also really game changing, because then, you know, you can just manage the whole thing so much better. You know, there are a ton of other ways, but I want to keep this video relatively short. But check out our grow guides, and also see on our social media, we have our online Facebook group where you can get involved with us. We share photos and videos and we talk and stuff. So that is another great way for you to connect. And yeah, let me know how you're getting on. Always here to help. And yeah, let's just get growing. Anyway, guys, take it easy, and I will see you soon.